being an entrepreneur sounds cool, but the reality of building a business is very, very difficult. Every level that you hit, there's a lot of things that suck that you just won't want to do. What you're capable of is on the other side. I don't feel like it.
And if you're committed to what it is that you're trying to do, nothing is going to stop you from getting there.
Welcome back to another episode of Real Business Owners with myself, Trevor Cowley. Happy to have you guys here for another amazing week. I'm excited for you guys to tune into this podcast. It's what I would call a bare butt spanking. So don't take it personal. You know I love you. It's coming from me as a brother, wanting you guys to get better, to level up personally and professionally. And if that's something that you're ready to do, go to joinrbo.com. Other than that, enjoy today's episode. We have, 3 or 4 weeks until 2025. And I guess the message that I want to get across to you guys is it really doesn't fucking matter who's president of the United States. It doesn't matter whether it's a good economy or a bad economy if somebody's an absolute dipshit and just not making the right moves. So just because there's money flowing and things are happening for some people and some people are getting rich doesn't mean everybody gets rich. Is it easier to have idiots go out there and get rich? Yes. Absolutely. Is it easier to make money with less risk when money's flowing? Absolutely, yes. But it really comes down to the individual. There has been good markets and many broke people. Just because there's a market that we're about to experience that should be very fruitful for a lot of people doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be fruitful for you. My concern is market confidence being at an all-time high and you feeling as though that you can kind of coast your way to a level of success that's going to change your life or be meaningful. It's just not going to happen that way. And so the question that I have for you is, when are you going to develop yourself? When are you going to develop your skills? When are you going to become somebody that's so valuable that when there are good markets, that you're the type of individual that has the ability to bear the most fruit, to win at the highest level? Guess what? You are going into 2025 with you. Are you prepared? Are you capable? Do you have the skills? Are you ready to make the right investments? There's still things that need to be done on your part for you to win in a good economy. Will it be a good economy? Absolutely. I 100% believe that. Will you still have to make moves that are uncomfortable, that will require you to move through friction? Absolutely. I was on social media 3 or 4 days ago. Patrick Bet-David made a post, and he says, you guys, you need to understand, the wealthy people that I know are already on the offense. They're already making moves. Immediately, I started making moves on things. Immediately, I was like, okay, we need to start running ads for the Real Business Owners Mastermind, because there is going to be a lot of money flowing. And running ads on the real business, it's not necessarily about making money, but it's like, what about all the people that are in an economy in which money is flowing, but yet they're still not winning? They need to have the network. They need to have resources. They need to have the right mindset, and they need to be involved in the Real Business Owners Mastermind. So we need to get in front of as many people as we possibly can so that we could help them win at the highest possible levels with an economy that's going to be booming, that's going to have money flowing, that's going to be opportunity abundant. I believe that I'm speaking facts. Obviously, the time hasn't happened yet. We don't fully know. Nobody has a crystal ball, but I've been around for 15 years in business. And what happens when a stock goes up? Let's look at what it used to be and what it is now. Back in the day when a stock would go up, it was all about headlines and news, and it was press, right? If a company was getting good press, their stock would increase. Guess what? People had the ability to manipulate that, right? Because they could buy press. And somebody that owned a big, let's say, news outlet or a big company could put good press out about a company that maybe they have vested interest in so that the stock goes up. So there was ways to easily manipulate it. There still is. But the difference is it's not necessarily just data anymore. In other words, back in the day, they would look at trends. In other words, is this company growing quarter after quarter, after year after year after year? What are the opportunities that are available for this company moving forward? Will they still be able to continue to hit these numbers and still be able to grow in the manner in which they have? Cool. I'm going to bet on this company that it's going to be able to continue to do that. And that's what people would do based upon the data and the press. In other words, the press would really just release data about the company
and, its potential future success or potential future demise, right? And so people would bet on the stock market that way. Nowadays, let's look at Tesla, for example. Tesla was going through the roof, even though Tesla didn't have the numbers to back up what it was being traded at. So what that tells me is that people were buying into the individual behind the company. So they didn't really care about what the press said. They really didn't care about what the numbers said. What they cared about is that Elon Musk was behind Tesla, and they loved Elon and they believed in Elon. So I am buying Tesla. In other words, I am putting my money behind backing Elon Musk. I'm betting on him as an individual to win. We saw that example. Now, don't get me wrong. There's still a bunch of stocks that are the old school, let's look at the numbers, all that stuff. But there's kind of this tide that's turning where people are betting on people now, like the individuals that are behind the projects. And what this election showed me is that people are betting on Donald Trump. So now that he's elected, what they're doing is saying, okay, sweet, the market is going to be good because he is going to lead us in that direction. Part of it is a self-fulfilling prophecy, because if you believe that he's going to head us in a good direction and you start feeling comfortable and complacent, what are you going to do? When you're comfortable, you spend money. When you're scared and you're nervous, you tighten up and you hold on to your pennies. And so what is happening is he's creating a level of ease and comfort and belief in the future. So therefore, the marketplace will be prosperous because people are going to believe it's going to be prosperous. So therefore, they spend, and therefore it becomes prosperous. So it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. And I believe part of recessions is fear and, press and making people freeze up. Down economies are a great thing for people with a lot of money. That's when they make really bold moves and make the majority of their wealth. And so every so often, they get human beings to fear. In other words, freeze up and hold on to their money and create a recession. Let's make people hold on to their money. So therefore, we can go rape and pillage, so to speak, the marketplace. Then let's give a market confidence and then rise out of it. And as we rise out of it, we made a bunch of money. With the marketplace, betting on an economy where there's going to be money flowing and opportunities that are abundant, my question for you is, are you really prepared for that? To me, it's very surprising how many business owners can't go out of town for 2 fucking days. So you work for your business then. This podcast is called Real Business Owners. It's not called self-employed. There's a lot of miserable self-employed people that feel stuck, that feel like that they're in prison to their business because they can't leave when they would like to because it's busy. True leadership means that you've developed yourself so much so that you're capable of now developing other people. You could look at yourself as a manager of people, or you could look at yourself as an opportunity creator. For me, with where I sit right now, I want to look at myself as an opportunity creator. How can I create opportunities for other people to win and win big? You could become an opportunity creator by developing yourself so much so as a leader where you develop other people where they could take the roles that you've fulfilled up to this point as a business owner. So what you're doing is you're creating an opportunity for that individual to step up and change their life, maybe financially, with what that is going to take to compensate them to run an entire organization. And then you level up and remove yourself out of the day-to-day operations. In other words, dealing with all the bullshit. So in an economy that's abundant and where there's money flowing and every business is super busy, that doesn't really sound that enticing if you're shackled to your business. So listening to a podcast called Real Business Owners, going into a market that's going to be very abundant, the question that I have for you is, are you just listening to stuff like this just to feel good? Just to kind of play the game, to act like you want better? Or are you really trying to digest information when you listen to it and figure out how you could apply it and where it applies to you with where you're at in your life or your business right now? I can already say with certainty that 90% of the people that listen to this podcast are probably in the exact same position that they were last year or 2 years ago. They're probably no better off. Even though they're around success, they're listening to people talk about being successful and ways to do it. How much have you really changed? Do you weigh the same? Do you think the same? Do you have the same friends? Do you hang out in the same places that you did a year or two ago? Can you honestly say, This is the bold action. This is the bold move that I took over the last 12 months. And this is how I've benefited from it. The majority of people can't show me bold moves. They can show me little inches, little teeny things that they've done, little micro things that they've maybe changed about themselves or their business. They're playing at such a slow pace in terms of change that good markets will come and go. Boom, boom, boom. Just pass them right by. It's the ones that are big and bold. When I was telling you earlier about Patrick Bet-David's thing about, hey, all the big players, they're on offense right now. They're not waiting for 2025. They're not waiting for 2026 to have actual proof that they're sitting in a good economy. They are going to take advantage of where we sit right now and watch the run up over 2025, 2026, 2027, 2020. Like they want to be a part of that, not join in the middle of it. So much so he was talking about an individual that he knows that bought $4.6 billion worth of Bitcoin. If it goes from 90 to 180 grand, which I believe it will in the next year, then there's an individual out there that's going to go from having $4.6 billion to now having, $9.2 billion, like literally doubling in 1 year. The idea is I'm not betting anything that I'm not willing to lose, and I'm not going to sit there and look at it every day. If you're highly emotional and you're going to look at it every day, it can cause a problem. I'll use this as an example. It was right around 2020 when COVID hit. There was a buddy that came to the office and he started messing around a little bit with stocks, and he was doing the calls and the puts. He said, "Hey man, bet on NVIDIA." So I bet on NVIDIA that it was going to go up. And I said, "How confident are you?" He said, "I'm confident." I ended up putting $125,000 on this bet with NVIDIA. I would look at it daily. Like I would refresh it and I'd be up $5,000 and literally hit refresh again and I would be down like $2,000. Like the swings were so dramatic. In a matter of seconds, there was thousands of dollars gained and thousands of dollars lost. Long story short, a few weeks, 2, 3, 4 weeks into it, I opened my app up and it was at like 50,000. So I had 125 grand put on this and now I'm down to 50. I'm down $75,000. And I was like, you know what? Fuck this. This isn't working. So I hit sell. I'm like, I'm okay losing 75. I don't want to lose a full 125. It just doesn't seem like it's working. So it was literally at the end of the day, I hit sell. I go to sleep. And the next day, I wake up to a text message. It says, "Bro, are you fucking seeing this?" And I look at it, and NVIDIA skyrocketed. Literally would have made me like $350,000. So instead of losing 75, I would have made like 350,000. And that was in a matter of like a 12-hour window. So the whole point that I'm trying to make is investing into something that you're just hoping for a quick win, it's going to make you watch it like a hawk, and your emotions are going to be so involved in it. Right? You're watching it constantly. If it's high, you're high. If it's low, you're stressing out, right? And you're at a low. So you would go home based upon whatever the stock market was looking like. And so if it was a good day, you went home in a good mood. If it was a bad day, you went home in a bad mood. And so it was too much for me, even like 4 years ago with where I was at with my emotional resolve or my emotional intellect. I was still emotional about money and allowed it to affect me. I let it affect me so much so I made a sudden move and didn't just hold true to the bet that I made. My emotional resolve has increased. I've made a couple other bold moves, this year, and there's some things that are still kind of in transition for me that will allow me to continue to make bold moves. There's invisible progress happening every single day, and a lot of people overjudge themselves based upon the fact that they're showing up in a certain manner and they don't see a certain result. If you look the same, you act the same, you hang out with the same people at the exact same places, and your finances are the exact same, and you've listened to this podcast for the last couple of years, that's a problem. That is undeniable proof and evidence that you're not doing the work. When are you really gonna wake the fuck up and take your journey of self-improvement seriously? You are responsible to take yourself through the one life that has been given to you, but yet you focus on all these other things outside of improving self. So this is a call to wake the fuck up if we're going to have a good 4-year run here. If you're operating at a low frequency and you don't take self-improvement seriously, yeah, you might see a few wins over the next 4 years, but you're not going to win like the people that have been preparing to win over the last few years focusing on self-improvement, building themselves into an individual that's valuable enough to when a marketplace is abundant and money is flowing, that they're catching a lot of it. Opportunities find people that bring value to it. Self-improvement will make you become more valuable. That's just the way that it works. So keep showing up the same self, being self-employed, never delegating, never changing anything, whether it's your marketing strategy or your leadership capabilities. You're never investing into self-improvement. In other words, surrounding yourself with people that know more than you, that are like-minded, that are resourceful. You wonder why your net worth is so low. Look around your network. Who do you have available to you that's actually been successful and made real, like millions of dollars? Not the homie that makes 150 grand a year doing sales. Who has a net worth that's noteworthy? Who has actually done something that you want to do? The majority of people don't have that around them, and they also never really invest into having that around them. Look at yourself in the mirror. Change who you are for the better, and not just for you, for your family, for your employees, for anybody that you lead, for the fact that you have the ability to do it if you so choose. The fact that you have an option to get better and you choose not to, that's just sheer disrespect for your creator. You are designed in a manner in which is obvious that we're meant to evolve. And if you choose not to evolve, shame on you. You're going to complain about all the things that you don't have, but you're not going to evolve the thing that you do have. You have full control over who you become, what you listen to, who you hang out with. Every decision goes through one person, and that's you. Start taking a little bit more control of your life. Start taking it a little bit more seriously. And I think that the next 4 years will be amazing for you. And if not, it'll just be another 4 years amazing for those that really take self-development and improvement of their business and of their lives seriously. Those are the ones that will win and win at the highest level. You'll just watch them make more money. Some people are going to get very, very wealthy and make a lot of money over the next 4 years. The question is that going to be you? Are you going to be one of them? And you're the only one that can answer that question, because you're the only one that truly knows what your willingness level is. The reason why I'm so confident is because I already know that I'm willing to go through more discomfort than the majority of people. I have undeniable proof of that. Doing 10 miles every single day when I don't necessarily have to. I mean, I'm not getting paid to do it. I'm okay with discomfort at a level that other people aren't. I can have luxuries that I just choose not to have, or comforts in terms of the type of vehicle I drive, the type of lifestyle that I like. Why do you think I have money to lose like I have money to lose? The reason why I have those things is because I don't flex to you guys. Hey, look at me, look at my car, look at my homes, look at my that, look at. I don't really care to travel or vacate. I get more dopamine hits off of evolving as a human being and as an individual. Doing something that I didn't even think I could do makes me feel good. A vacation might make some people feel good. That's awesome. Everybody's wired differently. And some people, oh, well, that sounds so bad. Well, it's not really that badass. I'm sometimes jealous of people that have the ability to go out there and get a dopamine hit off of taking a nice vacation. I have to get it through a mass amount of discomfort and surprising myself. Some days it is a blessing because it's allotted me a certain life. Some days it feels like a curse when I just don't want to get up and do that thing. But I said that I would do it, so I go do it. So the reason why I'm confident is because I just know that very few people are willing to go through the amount of discomfort that I'm willing to go through, because I don't have to go through it and I still choose to do it. And some people don't even have the finances. In other words, they struggle financially and they choose not to do it. So there's people that are barely getting by financially, still sleeping in. We're still waking up at a certain time that allows them just enough time to get dressed and get to work. They do just enough to get by, but yet they complain about getting by. So if those people aren't willing to endure or bear an extreme amount of discomfort in order to evolve self, then they're not going to make themselves more valuable to society. Therefore, they'll always exchange their hours for dollars, because that's what the minimum type thinkers just do. Otherwise, you would have to exchange hours for nothing for a period of time, betting on the fact that maybe in a year or two that I will make a large amount of money, and I'm willing to front load my efforts and hopefully receive on the back end. That's called starting a business. People that get by don't want to put in that type of effort without receiving something immediately. It's just the way that it works. I want to see you win. Here we are going into a situation that could be very abundant for a lot of great human beings. The Real Business Owners community is absolutely amazing. I want to see everybody win, but I'm like, what can I do to shake them? I wish I could grab into it and just shake them. Just say, you're just really not operating at the level that I know that you can operate at. And I know you feel overwhelmed operating at the level that you're currently operating at, but there's more. That's a hard truth to tell yourself when you're already struggling to tell yourself that you could do more. That's why very few people reach the millionaire level. I mean, that's just what it is. Most people are going to do enough improvement to make 100, 200, 300 grand a year, then they're going to ride it out.
Hope you enjoyed today's podcast. Hopefully the message resonated with you and makes you want to get a little bit better for 2025. And so if you're enjoying the information and enjoying the podcast, the only thing I would ask is if you rate and review the show, share the show with somebody that you love and care about. Other than that, keep kicking ass. We'll see you next week.